All right, thanks for coming back. Here's my latest addition to my project. And there it is. The engine is installed with the stock air cleaner, which was very important because this is like an element of the vintage era of this Mustang. Vintage is relative, it's an 85. But so it's in. I don't have the serpentine belt on yet. It's going to have to be a special size, and the reason for that is although the car does not have air conditioning, it did come with a smog pump which was below the alternator, so it'd be in that area there, and I've omitted that, so now the belt has to be smaller than stock. But there's the headers. I don't have the exhaust put in yet, so sorry about the lighting. For some reason we had a cloudy day come in. It's been sunny the last few days. I don't know how well you can see that in there, but you get my finger. There's the steering shaft, and there's the edge of the header where that little glare is. It's hitting the steering shaft, so I got to buy a new steering shaft for that. This side I have an all aluminum 3-row radiator. I got that from Amazon. It's about 130 bucks, and it was a direct bolt-in for this application. I'm very pleased with how it looks. All the welds are that quality everywhere on this, and I am just amazed by the quality of the welds and how it bolts in and all that. Still running stock hoses. Because I do have the Edelbar carburetor, the coil had to be moved, so follow the coil wire. There's my coil right over there, and let's take a look how I wired that up. So that's the wiring with that, and I added the loom, and it goes all the way to here, and you can barely see it. There you go. And it runs down underneath all that to meet up with the factory harness, these two here. So I got that squared away. I redid the ground connections. They're a little bit better than factory. There's a bulk connection that goes to here to this wire is a bulk connection that is on over here underneath this, that has 5 wires going into one, so that's got its own connection. And then I added this circuit here which goes to the chassis back here behind the battery, and that improves the ground, as well as the main cable which goes over to the block down there. I still have the stock original starter on this. I was able to take it off, completely disassemble it, clean it, all the internals out, and reassemble it, and the engine cranks over with it. So I'm very happy how that's turned out, and very pleased with the Edelbar carburetor. Right out of the box, I have not touched a single screw on it, and the engine was able to fire up. I did run it yesterday for about 30 seconds. I didn't want to go very long because, again, no coolant and no belt, so just about 30 seconds just to kind of hear how it runs without exhaust on it. Yeah, I ran it with the headers uncapped. It's super loud, but it does work. And again, I'm very impressed with the Edelbar carburetor being right out of the box, being able to start up and idle without having to even touch a single screw. It'll need some finer adjustments as the package gets all put together, but there it is. So important to still note that the air cleaner does fit underneath the hood. The hood does close, which again, that was really a really important aspect for me on this build. Other things, my fuel pressure regulator got set up. Oh, my fuel lines. So I run a fuel filter off the vehicle before it goes into the fuel pump, and then there's my other fuel filter before it goes into the carburetor. So because it still has the stock fuel tank and stock fuel lines, the original lines, and because the car sat for 3 years, I wanted to make sure that the fuel was really clean, or as clean as possible, before it goes into the carb. So that's my assurance there. And anything else? I think that's about it. But the engine is in, so there we are. I'm very happy. Still got a ways to go. Oh, a note for guys who are really paying attention. I don't have the heater hoses hooked up because this one, which goes from here all the way over to the firewall, is one hose, and only one person had it online, and that was Fox Body Restoration. It's $60 for that hose, and I have looked everywhere. The only other way I can build that hose is getting two 90 degrees with two adapter fittings, and to kind of lace it up and go around everything. Yeah, so I opted to get that hose, and then I'm having to deal with the belt, which I think I'm going to be taking care of that today. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you around.